Happy birthday to me, everyone! Nintendo got me my very own Nintendo Direct announcement for today. How very nice of them. That's right, Nintendo announced new Nintendo Direct for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Yes, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern in the afternoon, of course. 40 minutes focused on the first half of the year for Nintendo Switch. I am excited. Like, what a fun day for me, in particular. But how about you, Tom and Triss? How are you both feeling on this fine morning so far?
This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's an exciting way to kind of start kicking off the year even more so. I know we had Arceus last month, but this is like a nice kind of roadmap for the first half of the year, usually, so.
Yeah, the year doesn't officially start until we get our first Nintendo Direct announcement. So now 2022 has officially begun, we can now say. It's a whole new year at this point, both for me and Nintendo, seemingly. So anyways, I hope you're all excited in the chat for us to do our very first ever live predictions for Nintendo. We've never done this before, so this should be a lot of fun, I think. Before we get into it, though, let us know how the volume is. Can you hear me, Tom, Triss, okay? And I've got some music in the background, too. Let me know if any of it's too loud or too soft, and then we'll get into our predictions. But, yeah, it's been a little while since we've been able to do this, hasn't it? Like, a few months.
Yeah. I mean, the last time we really sat down and did something like this, outside of our, New Year's predictions, I think maybe we did one for the Game Awards, but it really has been since the September Direct. Well, I guess for something this big, it was a Nintendo Direct back in September. They had the Smash one, the Animal Crossing one in October, but that's not quite the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and real quick, we had a super chat, if I can get it, scrolling too much. I think it was Pixel Craftian. For $2, thank you. It says, "Dear Andre, birthday with 3 cakes." So there you go.
Thank you, Pixel Craftian. That's very kind of you.
Yeah. No, it's always fun to discuss about it, Direct, and what's coming, and of course the aftermath afterwards.
Exactly. There's gonna be a lot of aftermath. Well, that's a hope at least. Hopefully the positive kind of aftermath, and not the negative kind. So that's
just like Phil Spencer walks in. "I own you now." Like, walks.
Oh my god, that would be incredible. For some reason, I'm just picturing him like walking up, like kidnapping Bowser, like both Doug Bowser and the Mario Bowser, and just walking away. "You're mine now." Put him like under each arm. Oh yeah, so this we're in the best part right now because like it's all hope, no disappointment. This is the most fun part of it right now. Like the world's our oyster. It could be anything, of course. It will be very much less than that, I imagine. But, should be a good time, and I'm excited. So, do you both have your predictions ready?
Yes.
I do.
And I want to note, too, for all the fun with the predictions, too, you mentioned the details I said for the Direct. And while it did say for the first half of 2022, remember that the February Direct last year was when they announced Splatoon 3. And that hasn't come out yet. So, there's clearly some big things they could still choose to show off if they want to.
This is true. That's a great point, Triss. So, Nintendo, it's smart of them to kind of set expectations for what to expect. But the fact that it's a focused suggests that I think we're going to get beyond just the first part of 2022. Especially considering there's only 5 months left. 4 really, if you don't count February. But I can't imagine anything big coming out that they haven't announced already. Well, with maybe one exception. So yeah, that's not a whole lot of time. And I would be blown away if they had 40 minutes of announcements packed in for a 4-month window here. So yeah. So I have a feeling we'll be seeing some stuff beyond here, possibly including maybe Breath of the Wild 2, maybe other games we don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna go through our predictions here and see what we think, what we might get today. So, on that note, let's go and get into our predictions. So, I think, we can start with whatever you want. Triss, let's start off with you. What's your first prediction for us?
Alright, my first prediction is also my top hope, personally, and I want DLC for Mario Party Superstars.
What? Triss, come on, that's your top hope? Are you kidding me? I want Mario Party DLC almost more than anyone, maybe besides you. Still, come on! I'd rather a brand new game announcement. I'd rather Mario Kart 9 than Mario Party DLC.
Of course, I actually would.
Working our way up.
Yeah, working our way up and starting with something that hasn't been rumored or anything yet.
Fair enough.
This is a grounded start that also would be really big for the series, and also with how big this latest Mario Party has been. I mean, Andre, you're still doing the near daily Mario Party streams.
It's dropped a bit,
3 to 4 months later.
Unfortunately, but yes, I'm still doing the streams pretty consistently. I am reaching the point though, like where I'm starting. I'm not bored yet, but it is reaching the point where like I know everything way too well in that game now. It's like we need more. So Triss, what are you expecting us to see here from Mario Party, like specifically?
Well, I think to put into perspective here with DLC announcements, last year's February Direct, because before our predictions, I went back and looked at what they had. They had the announcement of DLC for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity and showed nothing of it. They were just, look, we're making some, expected in May. And I think it's not going to be that minimal. I think we'll actually get something substantial here. It's been a few months since the game came out, and Mario Party tends to be pretty formulaic in terms of what they make, and I don't imagine they would have nothing to show this many months out from it. So I think we'll see potentially like multiple DLC packs, maybe even as part of the NSO expansion pack. So if you have that already, you'll get them for free, or you can buy them normally. But I think we'll see one, and it'll release within the next month.
Wow, that's pretty soon. All right, yeah, I think you're right.
First one at least.
I think now might be the time for Mario Party Superstars DLC. Like it's been out for coming up on 6 months. It's time, and I will specifically predict. I think they're going to. I think they'll effectively double the game. We're gonna get 5 new maps, 50 new mini games, and five brand new characters. We're finally gonna get. Go ahead.
I was saying, I do think they're going to do something along those lines over the course of a year, though, not all at once.
That could be.
Oh, yeah.
Continue.
That's a good way to get people to keep watching over time. And I liked your idea of bundling it with the expansion pack, kind of like Animal Crossing. More encouragement to add value to that membership plan.
Yeah.
Good point. Exactly. Get some extra value out of it for both those who subscribe and for those who haven't yet. Although I imagine if you have Mario Party, you probably have subscribed. Although that is the interesting thing with that game is if it's not part of the expansion pack, or rather, if it is paid DLC, if you don't have an expansion pack, I mean, I wonder if there's much benefit. If people play with their friends anyway, and I doubt Nintendo would make every friend purchase it if one person has it. So is it really even? You only need one person to have it at that point, if that's how it goes, right? Because like Smash Brothers, you don't need the DLC to play on new maps or against characters.
Yeah, like, I'm sure it would be a case of, like, whoever owns the DLC can actually choose the characters, the boards, the minigames offline. But if you don't own it and you want to experience those things, you'd only be able to do so through another friend. And you wouldn't be able to choose the new characters, even. You'd probably only be able to see them play them. Right.
That's probably true. All right. I hope you're right, Triss, because I want that. Not more than anything, but it's pretty high up there. Tom, what's your first prediction for us?
My first prediction, oh man, now I'm like, do I start off with a realistic one, or do I go crazier based off Andre's reaction last time? Oh,
Let's work our way up. Let's work our way up together, Tom.
Okay. I'll start off with another expansion then. As you know, one person in this room whose birthday may be today and may have beaten Ring Fit yesterday probably needs some more Ring Fit content soon, despite you can keep playing that game. And on another note, I'm thinking, I like combining things. I'm thinking of a franchise that Nintendo probably likes, but they don't want to use the name of because it has the word Wii in it. So... And I remember some people in our chat talking about multiplayer. So I'm going to combine 3 ideas.
Oh.
I'm talking about Ring Fit Sports, a multiplayer expansion pack that's going to be free with your expansion pack membership. And that's something I'd like to see, to play multiplayer against other people and kind of encourage you to go on. I think that'd be a totally different way to play Ring Fit. Maybe part of the reason why Nintendo hasn't just done a regular expansion right now is because they think the regular part's there already. So I think it's a more realistic shot at getting something totally different with Ring Fit, but also probably still using a lot of the same assets and stuff, so it's not super hard to develop. What do you guys think about my crazy ideas?
Wait, so there would be multiple, like it'd be like Wii Sports, but in Wii Fit or Ring Fit? Now I'm having trouble saying it.
It'd be sports more tailored to be using the ring. Like, you know, you could have archery and stuff, by actually like pulling back the arrow.
In the ring, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and more like races and things like that against other people.
It's an interesting idea. Hey, I'm down for more Ring Fit in any form. Yeah, I do think Nintendo does seem like they're allergic to the Wii branding these days. They barely even use Mii's. Miitopia was kind of like the big recent exception. And that had existed previously, of course. So I love the idea. I don't know if I expect it, but I hope I hope it gets some form of Ring Fit announcements here. Because yes,
that would be nice.
It has been 2.5 years since the game came out. As you said, I finally just beat it, and if I just beat it, it means other people beating it. And it's sold. We just found out recently it sold 13 million copies so far. It's a number 10 best-selling Switch game, which is pretty darn impressive, especially for a game that contains, you know, it's more expensive than usual, but it contains extra hardware. So I think it makes sense to appeal to that demographic and also try to broaden it, and much as Nintendo did with the original Wii Fit by releasing Wii Fit U. So so I think, Tom, it'd be really cool if it does include more activities like actual sports, especially like a multiplayer component. That might be a great way of like tying it all together, you know?
Yeah, I'm basically just reminding Nintendo, please make more Ring Fit. So.
At minimum, maybe they'll add more songs to that rhythm game.
Yeah, hey, I'll take it. So, or just make a rhythm game. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, Ring Fit rhythm game.
All right. So I guess I'll go up next. So my first prediction here is okay. I guess real quick before I get into it, I was comparing it to last year's Nintendo Direct, and Nintendo had, I believe, 5 or 6 game reveals last year. That's a lot. So they could potentially match that. However, 2 things. This year's Direct is a little bit shorter, at 40 minutes versus 50, and also I think last year we got the COVID bump, which was games that were delayed in 2019. Wait, is that right? No, 2020. Sorry, released in 2021. I don't think we're gonna quite get the exact same effect this year. But I still think we could potentially get up to 4 to 5 game announcements here, first party game announcements, and I think one of the first ones could be Goldeneye 007. It's been rumored, like there have been some rumblings about for a while. There was the leak a couple months ago for Xbox, which throws an interesting wrinkle, interesting curveball in this whole thing. But I think it's real. I'm not expecting. I don't think it's gonna be an NSO title. I think it's gonna be a self-contained, or rather, an N64 title at least. I expect it to be a self-contained, modestly updated version of the game, including possibly online. So thereby, it may be. I think actually maybe an NSO like free perk. And I think it'll come alongside an Xbox version as well. I believe that also exists based on the achievements list and pictures we saw leaked a few months ago. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a big announcement Nintendo's been holding on to, and I'm here for it. I can't wait for it. And I do think that I think there's just too much smoke for there not to be fire here. And I feel like it just kind of makes sense for it not to be NSO, particularly given the fact that we know that Majora's Mask is the next N64 game, which, unless they're announcing GoldenEye well in advance, or maybe not at all, I think it makes sense for it to be its own thing.
I can build on that. Like, of course, the game basically exists. It would be maybe the original GoldenEye with multiplayer, of course, while Xbox getting kind of the remastered one. That would be a big difference. That'd be a bit different in the Banjo comparison the other day. Another thing that is possible is maybe, like Devil's Advocate or something, is what if GoldenEye comes out on Xbox, then it's like, all right, you get that. We get like every other Rare game ever to release on the service, like Diddy Kong Racing. But like, I think at that point, if GoldenEye comes out in some form, it is most likely to come out on NSO too. It'll be fantastic and great value.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be such a fun way of re-experiencing a classic game and introducing a new generation to it, because that game's, almost 25 years old now, if not right around 25. I think around 25. I think this year is its 25th anniversary. So a great way to celebrate by having it on Switch and Xbox. Not that they'll announce Xbox here, but yeah, I think that could be amazing. Real quick, we got some super chats. Kieran Buckley with a, I believe, £5 donation says, I really want Breath of the Wild 2 news tomorrow, but I think they may make us wait until June or July. I think it's possible we'll get into that, I'm sure. But I hope you're right. I hope we do get something there. Kieran, thank you so much for the super chat. And then Wario Land Gold Pyramid with 100. I have no idea what currency that is, but thank you so much.
80 rupees?
That might make sense. They predict the one more thing ending is the reveal of a new 3D Mario, not Odyssey 2, but a brand new title. Whoa, Warrior Land Gold Pyramid, thank you for the super chat, but we're getting into spoiler territory here for predictions. Anyways, we're going to move on to our next prediction, unless Triss has anything to add to Goldeneye. Triss, what's up next?
I think, yeah, I don't have much to say on Goldeneye, and then I actually completely agree with Tom on it, like 100% in regards to that. But next up, you know what? Since someone mentioned Zelda, I will actually say, I've been saying this for a while, the exact way I think Zelda will play out is we'll have, you know, the whole like fade to black and fade in, and it'll be Aonuma on like the dark screen again, and he'll just kind of be standing there very politely, and he'll say, oh, we don't have anything new to share on Breath of the Wild 2, or the sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but we are hard at work on it. So in the meantime, we will show you this, and it'll be like the title and the logo for the game, and only that. To give us that much to think on until whenever they have their info blowout. As much as I would hate that they do that, I can kind of see them choosing to do that. Even though they said it was a spoiler before, as the one thing to tide us over for however many months it'll end up being.
That's a good thing to do to like get more hype. I almost think they would do that with a bigger reveal in June to like get that trending, but I mean, either is possible. That's the advantage of holding back the title. You can reveal it later. And I feel like their E3s are kind of like on a TikTok cycle for news sometimes. So it's like, it technically, you know, we had another one where they missed it. But I feel like with Zelda, it's like an E3 cycle for news. But we'll see. I mean, anything's possible depending on their development. We did have two super chats. I got them real quick. One's from Person Pineta. All I want is a new Tomodachi Life, please.
Oh, please.
Yeah, you never know. Sometimes, like, they have the different games out there that, like, for me personally, I didn't play a lot, but other people love them. So, another one, Sonic and Mega Man 531 also said ARMS 2, perhaps. Well, that will be a trade-off, I think, with some other predictions because of the team working on another game. And oh my, we had another one. From Big Timer, SH5, off topic. Remember when you guys covered fan games on your channel? You should absolutely cover Sonic Battle R if you guys can. It's such a fun idea. I'll have to look into that one. I haven't. Did that one come out recently?
Yeah, that one hasn't been on my radar.
Sonic fan games are usually pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you for the super chats, everyone. Appreciate that. Real quick, getting back to what we were just discussing. Which, Zelda. I guess let's just dive into whether we expect Breath of the Wild 2 here. We're gonna take a quick Zelda break. Is Breath of the Wild 2 going to be here, everyone? I want everyone's opinion on this. Tom, what do you think?
No. I think we're not gonna get a remaster of another Zelda game though, because they're gonna be gunning for this year, so they probably won't want like let's say a Wind Waker and that in the same year. So
as much as I want Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, I don't think they'll happen before Breath of the Wild 2, and I don't see Breath of the Wild 2 happening news-wise until E3, whatever form that takes this year, so until the summer, basically. If it's here at all, it's Aonuma coming in to say, I'm sorry, we don't have anything to share.
Yeah. I think if Breath of the Wild 2 is here in any capacity, I agree with that. It would be paired with another announcement, possibly. But yes, I don't think Breath of the Wild 2, I think we get a title reveal at most, and even that, honestly, I'm not expecting, because that's very... Nintendo hasn't... I don't think they've really done that before, where they've announced a title, like, mid-cycle without a new trailer or something. Of course, you know, anything's possible, and it would get people talking about it. But yeah, I'm not expecting it. That's more a E3 time thing, I believe.
Yeah.
Even if there's no E3.
Breath of the Wild 2 in general is also very strange for Nintendo, because normally we don't see as much of the game as we have, and not have the title for it yet.
Exactly. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm not expecting it. But hopefully not too long. Real quick, some super chats came in. No DQ Virtue, $2 says Banjo-Tooie. That's all they say. Yes, this will be a fun way to announce it. I'm not expecting it just because of Nintendo's pattern recently, where they have been announcing the game after the next one or rather they announced the one coming up. I think right around the time when they announced the release of the current one. And also the fact that we still know, I believe we still basically know the course of NSO releases for this year, because they showed off I think it was 4 more games that they haven't released yet. I mean, that'll take us up to June. So it would make sense for them to fill us in the second half, like in the next Nintendo Direct maybe, or one toward the middle of the year. So yeah, that's where it could be. I hope so. And this is Nintendo's chance to fix Stop and Swap. They can finally fix it even better than the Xbox version did. I don't think they will, but it'd be amazing if they did.
I know. I'm hoping, but like, my gut says no.
Yeah, my gut says no as well. Eric Flapjack Ashley with an $8 super chat. Thank you, Eric, who says, happy birthday, Andre. Starbucks is on me today. Well, thank you so much, Eric. I will definitely need that Starbucks. This is early for me. I usually don't get this early, so it's very much appreciated. All right, so that was our Breath of the Wild 2 break. Let's move on to our next prediction. I believe, Tom, you are up next.
Oh, man. Good thing I have tons of predictions.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do a small one. I think it's I'm gonna hope that we get an Advance Wars release date in this one, because that was pushed back, of course. If it's not there yet, they're definitely gonna be taking the time to do it properly. But I'm hoping we'll get a release date and a little bit of more of a look into it, and just to hype people up and get people looking for it soon, because otherwise I think this game will be kind of like under the radar for a lot of people, unfortunately. What do you guys think?
100%.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a little under the radar right now, since we haven't seen anything from it since E3. And a similar, in quotes, game is going to be, releasing next month with the Triangle Strategy. That's Square Enix, but Nintendo's publishing it. So that's another tactics game that I think people might put that on their radar. So yeah. I would really hope they do give a proper spotlight to Advance Wars, especially if it is still coming out this spring, like it was, originally delayed to.
Yeah, there's no way we don't see it. It's literally impossible that's not in this Direct, unless it somehow had suffered an even bigger delay, which they would also have to announce. So I think no matter what, it is going to be here. And in fact, I even have a specific release date for it, being April 8th, because that was on the eShop a few months ago. That was an accidental posting for it. There's no guarantee it's 100% accurate, but I also see no reason why it couldn't be. So yeah, I believe it will be shown here. We'll find out even more about it to whatever extent there is, and it'll be coming out in not too long. Wow, Super Chat's coming in.
Oh my god.
Wow.
They're coming in fast.
I cannot keep up.
All right, I got him. Little Temple 2022 says Mario Kart 9. Don't worry, we'll be getting to that. Thank you for the Super Chat. Taker610 with a $2 Super Chat, Taker610 says first footage of Metroid Prime 4. All right, let's have a quick Metroid Prime 4 break. Is it happening, everyone? What do you think?
No.
Nope.
No, I agree. All right, Audrey Rodriguez with an $8 Super Chat. Thank you, Rodriguez. Says, do you all think they'll show a quality of life game like Labo or Fit or something? Tom actually was just talking about that, where Tom was predicting basically a new pseudo-sequel to Ring Fit, possibly in the form of like a sports-based compilation.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible. I don't know exactly in what form, but I do hope. I just beat Ring Fit, so maybe that's why, but I really do hope we get another one here. And then Geo Saga, I believe, with $5 Super Chat. Thank you as well. Thank you to everyone so far. Says, if it counted Mario Kart Phone as 9, the next one could be Mario Kart X Nintendo All-Stars. So, it could be.
It could.
Yeah.
We did miss one from Teal Opal for $5, saying, I'll always hold out hope for Punch-Out or Tomodachi Life. Also, happy birthday, Andre.
Well, thank you, Teal Opal. Much appreciated.
I'll have a Punch-Out prediction later, too, maybe. But
okay.
Tom's predicting his own predictions at this point.
Yeah. Tom's going to make a prediction later on.
Austin Evans with the $5 Super Chat. I just want a new Donkey Kong. It's been 8 years in Tropical Freeze. Yes! I agree!
I always want a new Donkey Kong. I mean...
Yeah.
It would be nice.
It's been way too long, so I'm all down for that.
Those are barrels back there. Jungle Beat barrels.
Nice, Tom's prepared. All right, is it my prediction next? I think I'm up next, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm predicting that they're actually going. Okay, so last year Nintendo opened with a surprising announcement, being a new Xenoblade game. Except it actually wasn't. It ended up being It ended up being a Xenoblade character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Of course, now we know there are no more Smash Bros. Characters, so I think we're going to get the same thing again, minus the Smash Bros. Angle. I think it's time we actually will get an announcement of Xenoblade 3. It's now been nearly 5 years since the release of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, 4.5, I guess, and then I guess 4 years since the release of the expansion, basically, if my math is correct, which it very well may not be. In any case, it's been a number of years. They've been working on something for some time, obviously. I think it could be Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and I think that actually may be how they open the Direct.
I could totally see that. I can absolutely see that. It's also been a couple years at this point, and by the time it comes out, it's been a couple years since Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. So, hopefully, everyone playing the Xenoblade Chronicles games has finished all of those and will be there for 3. And specifically, I guess to expand on this, it'll be 3. It won't be a port of X, I think. It'll be an actual third game continuing the story of the first two, or tying them together even further, kind of thing. In those worlds, basically.
That would be amazing if it just continued on after the Smash Brothers trailer.
That would be the best reveal they actually did reveal it a year ago. Like that's part of the gameplay. That'd be incredible.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be right up there. Some other ones like the joke April Fool's Yakuza reveal and stuff like that.
That'd be amazing. All right, more super chats. Taker610 again to the $2 super chat. Thank you. Says new punch. Oh wait, I may have read that one already. No, new punch out. Wave
this
rates
is another one.
Is a new
this
one.
Is
Okay.
A new one.
New punch out wave rates are 1080 snowboarding. Nintendo's forgotten about like largely their sports and racing games in general. Like it's so sad that we have all these amazing IPs. I'm not expecting any of them here, but man, I would especially kill for a new wave rates. I am a big fan of that series. And then we have a second super chat here from YTB for Life. With $5, thank you, says, call me crazy, but I would really like GBA on Switch Online. That's not crazy. That's reasonable.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you go first, Andre.
No. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, last year we did have the Game Boy rumor, and we got Nintendo 64 and Genesis instead. I think it's just a matter of time before we get Game Boy in some form on Switch.
Yeah.
I would not
Maybe
be surprised.
Game Boy first.
I would not be surprised if there are enhancements coming to the expansion pack, just given the reaction to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would come quite this soon, just knowing how slow Nintendo has been. That'd be a pretty quick response by Nintendo standards. Anything's possible, though, and I would love it, but I'm just not quite feeling it at this point for GBA on it. I think they would announce that as, like when they announce the second stage of N64 games, for instance. Wow, the super chats keep coming in hot and fast. All right. Brian Islas, I believe, with $5. Thank you. Says a Yoshi's Woolly World port. Yoshi's Woolly World port. That's one of the few, well, I say few, we established a list like 20 deep of games that haven't come to the Switch yet recently. But that is one of the few like standouts left on Wii U that haven't yet come to Switch. So that actually does seem like a perfect kind of like filler title. Because last year we did get a couple of port announcements like Miitopia. So that would kind of help fill in like any of the gaps that they may have.
Joey, I think, was all over that too, and Joey would have loved that if it does happen.
It's been a few years since Yoshi's Crafted World, and I think Yoshi's Woolly World was brought to the 3DS like 2017, 16, something like that. Like, it's been quite a while, so it would be great to see that again.
Indeed.
That's such a cute art style.
It is. It's adorable. Pizza Chew with a $5 super chat says Killer 7 port, Batman Arkham. Killer 7 port and Batman Arkham Collection port. Okay. Killer 7 port would be amazing. I don't expect that, but that would be very cool. Batman Arkham Collection, 100% is happening. I fully believe that that recent accidental reveal or posting by that French retailer. So that's actually I think we will see that here. I think that's why it got posted, because it's not only going to be announced in the Direct, its release is imminent. That's my guess. I mean, I knew it had a TBA release date, or rather a seemingly temporary release date that was later in the year, but I think that's something we may actually see on the sooner end of things, because the games are obviously done. They just have to port them. I don't know what games are all going to be included in the collection. I mean, obviously Arkham Asylum, but I don't know whether Arkham Knight will make the cut, or if it does, if it's a cloud only version, which are it's a dirty thing to say these days.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Batman, I mean that was Joey's main prediction, and unfortunately he can't be here because new to fatherhood. But he that was basically one of the two main predictions he wanted us to mention. So that's a good way to bring it up there.
I'll say, I think Batman's one of those that's highly likely just to be available same day. Really, one of those exciting things.
I could totally see that.
Yeah, that would make a ton of sense. I think that's the way you do it. Right. People will be on it immediately. It seems like there's a lot of excitement for Batman on Switch. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people out there who missed the games originally, because some of them are they're basically retro at this point, which is distressing to me. But anyways. Alright, let's move on. I believe Triss, I think you are up next with a prediction?
Sure, yes. I'm gonna go with the little Kirby pin I have here, because I think we'll get our last big trailer for Kirby in the Forgotten Land before its release next month. Now, obviously, we'll get like an overview trailer and those things when it's closer and it's their main marketing focus. But I think we're gonna get some sort of special feature on it here that'll showcase something else brand new and interesting that we haven't already seen. Maybe it'll just be the presence of King DDD, and that alone will please people. But we're sure to get something exciting with it. Since that's their next big release, it's gonna be here in some form.
Yeah, I think it'd be very odd if it weren't. The only thing that I wonder now is, I don't know if it'll have a big presence here, just because I feel like there's not a ton more to say about it. I mean, they could show more levels, they could show DDD, as you said, but we know how the game works now. Like, we understand the basis of it. I don't think there's any or much in the way of big reveals left without venturing into spoiler territory. We may already be there, according to some. So yeah, I think I'll have a short segment just as a reminder. It's like, hey, this is on the way. You know, keep an eye out. Don't forget. You know, whatever. But yeah, I don't see it having a major presence just because the last trailer was the big one. I believe.
That's
but
true.
Hey, I'd be happy if I'm wrong and they ended up just showing far more of the game, and it's like, whoa, didn't see that coming, you know? Because they haven't touched on, like, they've only talked about co-op, right? They haven't discussed the possibility of there being perhaps like maybe mini games included, as some other Kirby games have in the past, like Kirby 64. That could be a fun thing.
They've like hinted side modes in the last trailer or of some kind, but we don't really know the full extent of which they'll be there. But yeah.
Right.
Maybe just some new environment or mini game modes, like Andre is saying. I can imagine the direct announcer now, like, don't forget about the Forgotten Land coming out next month.
Exactly.
Yep. Before our next prediction, by the way, Andre, I meant to say this at the start of mine, but your last prediction about Xenoblade 3 and how last year we had the Smash thing. This is the first Nintendo Direct in so long that won't have any sort of Smash presence.
Yeah, was that not true at the last Direct?
No, because the last Direct they announced the final Smash presentation.
That was it. Okay,
that's
it.
In like a week later or two. So.
The Game Awards just blended in my mind as a Nintendo Direct at this point. That's a big deal. And that actually might be why this is shorter too, partially. Because Smash Brothers last year I think was like a 6 to 7 minute segment, and that's no longer like a fairly reliable thing we have to go off of. So that is a big change that we haven't had in a few years at this point. Which is, a bit of a bummer, at the same time, because we don't have that character to look forward to, that almost guaranteed thing to catch. But at the same time, it's like, now Sakurai gets to work on something else. So at some point in the future, we'll find out what his next announcement's going to be. So
it's also refreshing, honestly, to go in and not have to set up our whole separate Smash line of predictions. Like, that's done. We're in the next generation of Nintendo games, sort of. Our post-Smash games, what else is going to be hype now? And I'm looking forward to what else. But I just wanted to make sure that got said, because I saw people in chat being like, wow, no Smash.
Post-Smash? I'm imagining now, like, designating years as, like, AS after Smash. This is a post-Smash world. So we're in year one of that. Arbeen with a $5 super chat says, for Zelda, do you think they could release a smaller title remake? I'm hoping for something like Four Swords or Triforce Heroes.
Ooh. I would love to see Four Swords Adventures brought to Switch, because that game is still one of the hardest to do multiplayer for, requiring like the Game Boy player and everyone to have Game Boy Advances. I would love to see that brought to Switch with like Switch Online compatibility. And, everyone has their own screen already.
Right.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't see it this year.
The only downside is that you would lose the social local component, where you're sharing everything on the big screen, the other smaller screens to do your own thing on, right? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I'm worried about, or I'd be concerned about. Although it wouldn't matter if you're playing, by yourself online or something, for instance, or. I mean, even locally, it would still work. It's just like it was fun being able to play, like having that, dual screen interaction. So,
Yeah.
go ahead, Tom.
Well, there's always a trade-off in this age these days. I mean, chances are, like, some people can't play it together anyway. So I would love to see smaller titles and like Cadence of Hyrule, a smaller one like that would be great. No DQ Virtue also gave super chat. Any more Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity DLC? Chris, I think you would be the best in that.
Yeah, I think Age of Calamity is done. The way they presented it all, I mean, they presented it as there'll be 2 main DLC packs, and the way they formatted the second one feels very much like a conclusion to it all. They wrapped up everything on that, and once that DLC released, it felt like they were fully done with the game. And unlike the original Hyrule Warriors, which basically just constantly expanded the content, while these 2 sets of DLC packs expand the content for Age of Calamity, it didn't quite do it in the same way, where it felt more like an extra bonus rather than like necessary content updates. The game was good as is. The DLC added a little bit, but the DLC was also not really what it was hyped up to for almost a year. So I don't think they'll be doing any more with that.
Right. Yeah, no, I think we saw the extent of it. I think they budgeted for it, they had a timetable for it, and that's it. Like, unless the sale of the DLC somehow blew past their expectations, which I very much doubt. I think they probably had a pretty good idea what to expect based on the previous Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any more DLC for that game. They're probably just moving on to whatever the next Warriors game is. Pikmin Warriors, give it to me. Cody had brought up a good point in the chat earlier, from, I believe, All Source Gaming. They said that it is also Kirby's 30th anniversary this year, which is entirely true.
It is.
So
the day Forgotten Land comes out, I believe. I believe it's the day Forgotten Land comes out.
That is amazing. So do we think we could get any other Kirby announcements for this Direct?
I would love... You know what? I do think we'll see something, but it won't be like a brand new Kirby game. It'll be the next Game & Watch. It'll be a Kirby game.
I want a pink Game & Watch. Yes. That's all I want.
But, well, there was that magazine rumor that it's like a new title will be announced, like right by Kirby. But me personally, I think that's just another game. I think that's going to be the unannounced rumored game that we might have had yesterday. You're talking about a Kirby Game & Watch. I would love a Kirby, like Mass Attack 99 or something. But
Master Attack?
Master Attack.
Yes, that'd be amazing. A Kirby 99 would be fun. I was thinking there were, it has been almost a year now since their last 99 edition being, or 35 edition, whatever it was. 99, it was Kirby. Or not Kirby, Pac-Man, sorry. I think it would make sense for Nintendo to offer something. Like I said, I think they are looking to add more things to the NSO expansion. So if they want to include Kirby 99, hey, go for it. So, all right. Go ahead.
Quickly, Sonic and Mega Man did give a super chat. GoldenEye 007 featuring Kirby. That was just me mashing things together.
No, that was an actual prediction.
That would be a great customer.
That'd be amazing. They actually did our thumbnail. That actually turned into a game. That'd be incredible. We also got a super chat from Phantom the Knight for $5. Thank you, Phantom the Knight. It says, speaking of anniversaries, a certain professor's 15th anniversary is next week. Is that Layton?
Is it Layton? Wow, is it Layton's 15?
Is he half as old as Kirby already? What on earth? What is going on here? How is that possible? All right, well, that would be a fun way.
It is. Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense, but that was a DS era game. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm expecting anything, but I also hadn't considered it up until this point. Unfortunately, I feel like Layton's kind of lost its way in the last few years, where they don't even fully know what to do with it. But there were a time to bring it back, to restore some energy into that series. I think maybe this could be a good excuse. So,
weren't the developers level 5 in some sort of like business trouble recently too? Like, weren't they not quite bankruptcy, but weren't they like having trouble?
I don't recall.
Within the last couple of years. I remember reading something like that, but it might not have been.
It could be. Yeah,
clear,
that might explain some things. So,
I see other people in chat are saying the same thing, so I guess I'm on the right track with that.
Yep. So yeah, I'm not expecting it, but I'd be happy if we get something along those lines. All right, yeah. I forget where we were in the prediction order. Were you up next?
You, Andre. It's your turn.
Oh, it's me. It's my turn. All right. Okay. So, I think we already had I think we already addressed the fact that we aren't expecting Metroid Prime 4 here. I don't think I don't think we are at this point. However, I think there is a chance we could get some kind of Metroid announcement, perhaps paired with a, stay tuned for more on Metroid Prime 4, because it has been now 3 years since they rebooted the game, and I think that could finally come in the form Metroid Prime Trilogy. It's real. The question is, when is it going to be announced? And I think this might be a good time to help fill out the the first half of this year here. Like, who doesn't want to play Metroid Prime on Switch? And I think that'd be a really fun way of going about it.
Yeah, I definitely think we're gonna see Metroid Prime games before the other Metroid Prime games before 4. But I guess to raise a question to you, because I know Joey wanted us to mention the Metroid Prime remake, which is the other Metroid Prime rumor. So do you think the Prime trilogy is more likely than the Prime remake? Or
well, I mean, I don't necessarily think they are. I mean, I think I think they are. I mean, I think both are happening. The question is whether they're being released, individually or all together. And I'm less confident about that. But I have a feeling that they would. I honestly don't know. I mean, they already did the trilogy once, so it might make sense to do that again. And I think trying to sell all 3 separately might be a big ask. And I think it might run the risk of burning people out just slightly on Metroid. So I do think a collection or trilogy is a way to handle it, but who knows? I'd be happy in any case.
I'll say with Metroid Prime, I mean, thanks to the Kiwi Talks, million different Metroid Prime interviews, one of them said it would be, I think, extremely difficult to port it over. I mean, with the controls for Prime 3. So that's where there's more credence to Metroid Prime 1 alone coming out. And I love Metroid Prime 1. I would be happy with that, especially if it was cheaper too. Now, with Metroid Prime though, I mean, you look at things like other games have just been rebuilt entirely from the ground up in the past, so nothing's impossible though. Anything's on the table, especially given this much time. It could be in a vault somewhere. So
right. Yeah, I think they are reaching the point now. Metroid Dread, came out nearly 6 months ago at this point. I think it'd be smart to kind of maintain momentum for the Metroid fan base and give us something to look forward to. Just because, I think Metroid Prime 4 is probably still at least a year away. Probably more. Unfortunately. And I think it'd be. I think it just makes sense at this point. So. Couple more super chats, or at least, a couple more. D. Golan with $2, thank you, says, do you guys think Zelda Wind Waker / Twilight Princess bundle? I want it. To be fully honest, okay, I don't think it'll be a bundle. I do think both of them will eventually get released, and I was going back and forth to whether to predict Metroid Prime or Wind Waker HD. I think either one of those could happen. I don't think we'll get both here. So yes, I think they're both possible, and I want to.
Yeah, I want them. I don't see them happening here, unfortunately, but I want them.
Real quick, a super chat break, but another comment just caught my attention. Grookey for Smash says, let's go! A GameXplain stream to keep me entertained while I'm isolating with COVID. I'm so sorry to hear that, Grookey for stream, or sorry, Grookey for Smash.
Get well soon.
Yeah, hope you recover quickly, but I'm glad we're able to entertain you during that. One of my best friends has COVID now, and I know it's not fun, so... The video to the $5 super chat says, hey everyone, I know it's not Nintendo, but do you think we could see something from Sonic Origins or Frontiers? Could we? Sure. Will we? No.
I think if any, it won't be Frontiers, it would be Origins, because that's said to release early this year, so I can actually see that over Frontiers, but I almost feel like they would say that for their own Sonic Central again.
Wait, remnd me what Origins is again?
Origins is the collection of the like
Sonic
4 or
3.
5 classic games.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. That's. I mean, I suppose that one. I mean, that one's possible. I don't think Frontiers could happen. Is there much more to be said about Origins, though? I guess a release date would be big. So, right?
Mm-hmm. Fizzle Reel. That's Fizzle Reel.
Yeah. Yeah. Fizzle Reel could work for that.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, Triss, what's your next prediction?
Next up, I'm gonna go with Splatoon 3. I mean, it's been almost a year since it was revealed.
Yep.
We had our last trailer back in the September Direct. I think this time we're gonna get another trailer. It's gonna show off some side modes and some other things you can do in the game, and show us what the singers or the idols or whatever you want to call them are this time around, and give us an actual release date.
When?
Sometime between May and July, and I'm leaning more towards May.
All right, I predicted the date right between the two, being June. But yeah, there is no way that Splatoon 3 is not in this Direct. And not only that, it's going to be a big focus of the Direct, I believe. Because what we haven't had yet, we haven't had a detailed breakdown of this game. Like, everything we've seen has been, like, in quick, like, isolated shots, largely. We need, like, that kind of detailed breakdown of what exactly is the campaign, what new modes are there, more about the weapons, things of that nature. And I'm going to go even farther here, Triss. I predict that one of the new modes they're gonna show off is a cooperative campaign. We're gonna get a co-op version of the campaign, exclusive to co-op even. Yeah, that's that's it.
I think that would be awesome. Would that be like online play or would that be local?
Oh, it would have to be online as well. It would be both online and local. Because Nintendo did dabble with a split screen mode in the original Splatoon that was local only. But I think they would allow online support. In Splatoon 3, Splatoon is actually one of the series Nintendo has where they have leaned quite well into the online side of things. And I think they will continue that for a sequel. So, and they've already had the quasi co-op mode in the form of Salmon Run in Splatoon 2. Yeah. So
that's true. And we know they've done multiple stories before with the auto expansion being a second story mode, basically. I do think there might be. I almost want to say that'd be too much to have in a focus of this Direct.
How dare you?
Only because I feel like they wouldn't be able to squeeze all that info into a short enough time for it to not be 2018 E3 where it was 25 minutes of Smash Bros. So I feel like they would do a trailer and then a month out from the actual release date do a dedicated Splatoon Direct, really going deep into all of that stuff. But I think we can get that kind of quick fire, not overly detailed this time. Maybe at most 5 minutes spent on it, but I think a dedicated Direct for Splatoon would come sometime in the spring and a test fire for it later on as well. I don't think we would get that here though.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that. I don't think we're going to get much more than like a 5-minute segment, but even that would be more than we've had really so far, I think. And I think that's kind of what we need, like a more in-depth breakdown of what, what's going to really separate this from the other two. And in particular, I think for the campaign, that really is a big kind of question mark at this point. We saw a little bit more of it, seemingly in the previous trailer, but it didn't really show off, like, beyond the environments. Like, it didn't really give me a good idea of what to kind of expect from it in terms of a gameplay sense, beyond what we've already known of a Splatoon campaign. So that's what I'm hoping here for. But all right, Tom, what is your next prediction?
Well, all right, I want to look through the list here. Let's see.
All right, I'll go ahead.
I got it. So, we were talking earlier about Punch-Out. I think it's too early for Next Level Games' next game just yet. So, port of Punch-Out from Wii, like a remastered, higher, better graphics. I think that would be something that could kind of fill the gap. I would love to see that. And, Punch-Out, it's always like it was neglected for so long, but then we got Little Mac and Smash and that game. That was amazing. It's just another IP, depending on their schedule, that could really easily fit into the gap of the schedule. I don't think it'd be super difficult to port over, but you never know, depending on the level that they want to do. If they want to go to the next level, and if they want to add another character or something, I would just expect like a straight port, bring it to the Switch audience with over 100 million Switches now. What do you guys think?
I think that'd be great.
I love the idea. They did I don't know, tease. They had a boxing glove, like a Punch-Out boxing glove in Luigi's Mansion 3, which, in hindsight could possibly have been a tease. And I think it would make sense for them to, to focus on a smaller title between possibly another Luigi's Mansion. They seem to be a Luigi's Mansion studio largely at this point. But I do think, we are coming up on it about being time to find out what Next Level Games have been working on. But they tend to be on the quicker side. They tend to make games every 2 to 3 years. Their cycle is a little bit shorter than, like, say, a Metroid or Mario game. So hey, if it's not Punch-Out, maybe Mario Strikers or something. Because I feel like we are kind of now, we are in a time where they could announce another new Mario sports game now that Mario, which one was it?
Mario Golf.
Mario Golf. Thank you. Yeah, Super Rush. Now that's been almost that's coming up on a year now of being out. I think it was announced a year ago, actually, this month.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that'd be good, Tom, if they actually had something from Next Level Games. I think that is possible. I don't know if I'll bet on it, but I hope you're right. So, all right.
I'm hoping this year from them.
Sorry, yeah, I hope so as well, because I think Luigi's Mansion was 2019, I believe. So this will be its 3rd year since release. So, all right, I've got another prediction here. I predict that we're gonna get an online update, and they're all I guess all updates are online. An update for Cruis'n Blast. They're finally gonna add the multiplayer that they teased a few months ago. That they mentioned. I think they had mentioned to us in our interview that they were looking into it, and they had an AMA on Reddit a few weeks later where they basically said they were implementing it. And I think now might be a great time to announce it, particularly given the fact Cruis'n Blast just had a permanent price reduction on the eShop down to $20 from $40. So. That's a great time. That's a great way to prepare for an announcement that would really juice those sales, and I think they will deliver. In addition to adding a few other things too, like a few new vehicles, maybe some new maps. But I think at least online is a big thing that we could possibly see in this direct.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening here. Even if it's just like a quick fire thing, like here's like a 30-second focus on it.
Yeah, I mean, it won't get like a 10-minute segment as much as I would love for it to. So,
it almost feels too soon, but if they've been working on it since launch, maybe it's possible. It is hard to shoehorn multiplayer in a game sometimes, but if it's something I'm going for, it's going to come out eventually, and yeah, great timing right now.
I mean, yeah, Cruis'n Blast, if you played it, has some of the most severe rubber banding I've ever seen in the game, and it's difficult to imagine how they could make that work online. It's just because I feel like it would having that level of rubber banding online wouldn't be that fun, I think. So I don't know. It'll be interesting if they maintain it as they do locally, or if they'll actually broaden the skill base online. I'm not quite sure. So, all right, Triss, what do you have next?
Well, before my next prediction, I do actually want to ask you guys a question based on constantly seeing this in chat. Mario movie trailer, yay or nay?
Darn it, that was a prediction of mine. Yes,
I've seen it come up in chat so many times. I'm like, I feel like we should address this.
I think it is. I think it's about time. The movie is less than a year out at this point. They have to announce it at some point. Yeah, I mean, not announce, reveal it obviously at some point. They had previously shown off the cast of the movie, so I think it might make sense to continue that and give us a first look at it. If not it would have to be a trailer. So, or if not, rather, here's what they may do actually. I think this actually might fit better. I think we'll get a tease of the trailer. I don't think we'll get a full trailer. I think we will get a tease, like a 5-second look at Mario before announcing, hey, stay tuned for the full trailer coming up, whenever.
That's what I think. I think we'll get a first look at it of like visuals, but there'll be stills. And I don't think we'll actually get a trailer, like a proper trailer with the animation and voiceover and everything, until sometime during...
We will get a word. We'll get one Chris Pratt. Woohoo! That's it.
Let's go.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. No, it's more like, let's go.
I do think having the movie studio kind of complicates things involved. We don't know what their exact relationship is, but movie studios tend to be the driving... in the driver's seat when it comes to marketing, and that's why I'm kind of leaning toward it being a tease rather than a full-blown trailer. But
yeah.
We could see a silhouette of Mario, maybe like you see the outline of him, and he's mostly dark. Just to say, kind of looks like this, but it's gonna be something else.
I feel like that's basically like a Sonic movie type thing.
Basically, yeah.
What would be amazing if they go all in the Sonic movie, just have like this horribly this horrible looking realistic Mario for the initial trailer. They have to go back, redo everything.
Mario with more teeth.
Yep. Oh my god.
No.
Oh, that'd be disturbing.
Well, to actually get to my prediction though, since I addressed the question now, I'm still not gonna go for the big one yet. So let's say Fire Emblem. Because it's been quite a few years. It was 2019 where Fire Emblem Three Houses came out, and I think the end of that year or the very start of the next year where the DLC for that came out. And that was mostly Koei Tecmo. We don't know what Intelligent Systems' main Fire Emblem team has been working on for quite some time, or what Koei Tecmo's Fire Emblem team's been working on since Three Houses. I think we can get a new Fire Emblem game actually announced here. I don't think it'll release this year, but I think we'll get one revealed and announced. the Fire Emblem series has been blowing up a lot lately. I think they just announced that Fire Emblem Heroes has earned almost $1 billion for like by its 5th anniversary. Like, that's huge. And I think now is a good time for them to actually announce a new Fire Emblem. I don't know if it'd be a remake or a brand new game, but something Fire Emblem I could see being here.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I was thinking about that, and the only thing that's giving me some hesitation is like, would they announce a Xenoblade and a Fire Emblem in the same direct? And they could. I mean, they don't directly conflict, so there's no reason why they couldn't. Mm-hmm. I'm just not quite feeling it, so I think it would either be a Fire Emblem or a Xenoblade. Right now, I'm leaning towards Xenoblade, just because that's been longer since we've had one. But Fire Emblem is entirely possible, and they have done. I mean, they have been on a fairly regular, like what, 3 or 4 year cycle with those.
Yep.
So we may be coming up on its announcement at some point soon. So.
Yeah, I do agree. I think it'd be one or the other.
All right, Tom. What more do you have for us?
Well, I just have a couple quick super chats. One from Pixelcraftian, a new Mario 3D adventure, and new Super Mario Brothers would be cool. I mean, yeah, that would be. I think Andre's going to have a Mario prediction later on. And Jab with Thunder, achievement system, first party or NSO games. Achievements would be great, but we'll see.
Yeah,
it would make sense with Goldeneye, but
that's
that
true.
Would be kind of changing the
Wouldn't
game.
that be hilarious if Goldeneye ended up being the game that revealed the Nintendo achievements system?
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, no, we're 5 years in. I think there's almost no way we get achievements. The only way it would make sense, because there's no incentive for Nintendo to do it. Like, they are massively successful without them. Adding them would add almost nothing at this point. The only way I could see it is if they somehow tie it into Switch Online, like the expansion pack perhaps. But even that doesn't make much sense to me. So yeah, I think the ship has long since sailed on achievements. Nintendo's given no hint that they would ever look into such a thing. So yes, with that being said, I know a lot of people would appreciate it. Sadly, I think you're gonna be hoping for that for a bit longer. But I mean, forever. Am I out focus?
Yeah, well, just come a bit closer, maybe. It's when you sit back. It's a bit...
What is that quote for something? Come a bit closer, like a Star Fox character or something.
Come a little closer.
All right, maybe I'm not centered right. All right, that should be weird. Anyways, thank you for the heads up there, chat. Hopefully, I'm more in focus now. All right, was that it for
that was it for the catching up on those.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I think I'm up next again, if I've kept track on this. So I predict another smaller update along the lines of Cruis'n Blast getting online, hopefully. I think it's possible Game Builder Garage gets an update where they add some small new content, like maybe some extra character models for the player character rather than just being a robot. Maybe increasing the node count so you can make it slightly more complicated games. The big addition will be an actual in-game library, like an in-game store or database, basically a way to look for games from other people. Maybe it'll be curated by Nintendo, but some kind of way of accessing games without having to go to a third-party website. And I think having an update could really help, like, reinvigorate the life of this game. We know it sold a little over 1 million copies from the recent Nintendo financials, which is pretty decent for a small, for what's clearly a smaller title. And I think this could be a good way of like reminding people it exists, getting people back into the game. And I know I would return to it if they allowed us to more easily access, games that other people have created. So that's what I'm hoping for.
It would be great to see Game Builder Garage actually get more support. Has it actually gotten like any updates since launch? Or?
I don't think it has. I think it may have had a super small patch like early on, and I might be making that up. So if it did, it's gotten nothing significant. So.
Gotcha. Then yeah, it's been at least 6 months more than 6 months since that game came out. It definitely would be great to get updates, kind of like what Mario Maker was getting. Exactly. Both Mario Maker games got, where they just got continuous like big updates, adding even more tools to work with. I mean, this is basically taking that to the next level. So I think it would be fantastic to see more tools and features added to Game Builder Garage to make that even more. Not even just accessible, but just more like open to a bunch of people and bring in players, developers, whatever you want to call them again.
Right.
Yeah, call it out. Real quick, Andre, people said maybe it's focusing on your mic, if you saw that there. So.
Oh, that could be.
But
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, Game Boy the Garage only had a website to kind of reference stuff. It would be nice to share it more, and maybe if you do that, you throw in a couple more tutorials, or maybe a couple Nintendo developed levels that you can kind of pick apart and see how they made it. That would be an easy way to kind of bring focus to the game without putting a lot of development time in.
Yeah, I mean, I get the sense that this was a low-budget release by Nintendo. Still polished, but yeah, not something they invested a ton of money into. But I also imagine at the same time that selling just 1 million copies of it probably more than made up for what they spent on it. And yeah, and I think that might be a good reason to invest a little bit more and juice those sales a bit farther. But it does seem like I had a good. Like, I know it still has a community around it, but the whatever hype it had, it's definitely dissipated in the last, 4 or 5 months. So it'd be great to see that community given, like, something new to work with. So,
I remember too now, like, bring in, like, one of the things is bring in Mii's, like, a better Mii builder, like, have those as characters. Something like that would be really neat.
Yes.
Really, was the Miitopia, like, it was... memes. It'll bring memes to the game. Yeah, no, doing that would bring in a lot more character building to the game and give a chance for like RPGs and stuff, whatever people wanted to make.
Yeah, the main thing
Someone makes their own Miitopia.
Exactly. I do think they can improve the interface a bit too, make it easier to like isolate like parts of your programming. It can, like, I was working on a project, I just gave up. It was getting way too complicated. I had like connections everywhere. I'm like, I can't even process what's happening anymore. Like, I left it for a week. I came back. I'm like, I don't recognize this. I don't know what's going on. So I gave up on that. In any case, Triss, what's your next prediction?
I think I'm actually out of most, so I think I might have to go for the big one now, going off my background. The elephant in the room, or perhaps go-kart in the room, if you will.
Diddy Kong Racing. No, just kidding.
Yeah, Mario Kart. We were going to talk on this at some point. We wanted to... this might be a really long part of it, so we wanted to get all the other ones out of the way first. Mario Kart. This is a really big one. This has been rumored for quite some time. We've all been hearing different things about it, and insiders have been really starting to tease it more and more over the last, like, 3 weeks. And I think it really is time. I think it'll end the direct kind of like Splatoon 3 did last year's. I think the reveal of the new Mario Kart, and it'll be dated for this year. We won't have anything else other than that. It'll probably end up being in the holiday, but I think that'll be the big thing here. And it'll be kind of like the reveal of Mario Kart 8 back at E3 2013, where it's just, look, here's Mario Kart, and it doesn't really tell you anything about it other than, look, here it is. And otherwise, it'll be up to all of our analyses to figure out more of the details. God,
that's why I hope it's not announced. I'm not looking forward to the stupid in-depth analysis we're going to end up making for it. I know that's where a lot of people start following us with our original Mario Kart 8 analysis, where I broke down exactly how the tracks work based on like 3 clips for each of them.
Those are what inspired me with analyses back in the day.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
To come full circle on that would feel really special to me.
Oh, we can come full circle in the remake of Baby Park, baby.
Oh,
it's true. It's true.
So, actually, Tom, do you have any thoughts on Mario Kart?
So Mario Kart is the reason why I don't predict something like ARMS 2, because it's kind of the same team. I would assume they're just working on Mario Kart at this point. Despite loving to see ARMS, I think Mario Kart has sold a few more copies than it. A little bit. We have Mario Kart Tour now. The kind of argument against Mario Kart is that Mario Kart is still selling so well. Maybe they'll just hold out for whenever there's a more powerful system and just, continue working on ideas, have it ready. But Switch is going to have a long lifespan. I mean, if you're going to double the lifespan of Switch, why not have another Mario Kart out? Because although Mario Kart will continue to sell, if you have a new one, maybe you have the chance to sell 30 plus million more copies. So that I would love to see it. Depending on when Zelda comes out. I mean, you could have Mario Kart and Zelda in the fall if it were to come out this year. That would be a huge lineup.
That would be.
That would be a big holiday lineup for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously a new Mario Kart is in development. There was that was it Dr. Sorkin Toto, I believe? Was he the one who confirmed or, said that he had heard such things? For whatever reason, like, anything's possible. I'm not feeling it being announced here. I think it might be, especially if it ends up being a later release or later year title, like if it comes out toward the holidays. It doesn't make sense to announce it this early, I don't think, because that could dampen Mario Kart 8 sales, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sales, which are still absurdly good. And so I don't know if Nintendo would want to possibly compromise that. And I'm just not like feeling it. Like, obviously I want it. I'm a huge Mario Kart fan. We're overdue for it. I'm still just not quite feeling this maybe being the timing. So I think maybe around more closer to like E3 or fall time could make sense. I think it's just a little too early, but hey, I would love to be wrong. So
I think the main reason why I'm expecting it now is because Splatoon 3 always to me felt like it would be something that would have been saved for E3, but we had that early. And with how much the rumors are really ramping up for Mario Kart now, I don't think they would have Mario Kart and Breath of the Wild 2 get big focuses at the same time, especially if they're going to end up releasing around the same time. So I feel like we would need to get at least a reveal of Mario Kart before we start getting more Breath of the Wild 2 again. At least that's how I see it. That's how I see it, at least.
I'm still thinking Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be pushed next year, so I think that could actually possibly work.
That's fair. But I definitely think with Mario Kart, I mean, it's definitely true that as soon as a new one's announced, it'll affect the sales of 8 Deluxe. But 8 Deluxe has already had its big success story. Not that it doesn't need to sell more, but I think they could justify having to by simply doing something different with this one, where maybe tracks from Mario Kart 8 just won't be in it. And if you want to play those, go play Mario Kart 8. But
no, there's too many. I mean, there's too many good tracks in Mario Kart 8.
I know.
Although that being said, I mean, there is a good point that I played them so many freaking times at this point that I'd probably be okay not seeing most of them for actually a while. But it has reached a point where like I kind of hate half the tracks now. It's like, no, like every time I get the random 3, like I don't want 2/3 of them, if not all of them. So yeah, actually that may not be a bad idea. We played so much of Mario Kart 8, maybe just have all original tracks, or at least if not all original, at least bring back tracks that we haven't seen outside of Mario Kart 8. So
yeah,
more crossovers from other Nintendo games. That'd be an easy way to have new tracks.
Exactly, especially since that's part of like the rumors for everything right now, where it might lean more into the crossover side of things. They might put a bigger focus on that, and hey, if you want your more traditional Mario Kart focusing, then go play 8 Deluxe. This is Mario Kart the crossover. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope that's not the new twist. I've seen some comments asking if we think they'll change the name to Nintendo Kart or maybe just embrace that philosophy. Yeah, there's no way to change the name. Mario Kart's too strong of a brand. It'd be risky to change the name. It wouldn't make any sense. With that being said, they can still make a Nintendo Kart. Basically a Nintendo Kart while keeping a Mario Kart. And I think it would make sense to lean a little bit more into that, but I don't think it'll lose its identity as primarily being a Mario-driven title.
Yeah.
Driven. But yeah, I mean, they already started leaning into that with Mario Kart 8, DLC, so I don't see why they wouldn't continue that. It was a success, I imagine. No, I want the new twist to be something gameplay related. Obviously I've said before, I love Double Dash. If they brought back some of those mechanics, that'd be great. If they add like an actual jump, I'm cool with that. Or do something entirely new. Maybe like actual transformations. Like I've been recently playing Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed on the Xbox, and transforming vehicles is like a really fun element of that game. I think it's probably one of the weaker parts of Mario Kart, with the hang glider and underwater, which just kind of feel uneventful. And I think Nintendo could go way harder in on those, like powered flight. Maybe hovercrafts for the water to rip off Diddy Kong Racing again. Maybe something entirely new. I don't know, but
you get knocked out of your cart and have to run back into it or into other vehicles.
That'd be hilarious, actually. That'd be so great. Just go exploring. I'm just gonna go on a walk here.
Just find a new vehicle. With Mario Kart, though, it's almost like one that if you tease it, you want to kind of out in 3 months, I feel, because everyone kind of has a general idea of Mario Kart. It's not like Zelda where you kind of get hyped for it, you want to buy a Switch. Mario Kart is just like, here's Mario Kart, play it now. Like, unless the hook is so out there that people get hyped for it. I feel like Mario Kart's one you just want out soon after the announcement.
Right.
I definitely see that, but I mean, I know at this point this was like almost 10 years ago, but I mean, the original Mario Kart 8 was revealed at E3, and then it released the following May, almost a year later. So they definitely could drag out announcements of Mario Kart simply by not showing as many characters and courses and items each time and just kind of spreading it out. But they know how to build up hype for Mario Kart, especially since Mario Kart will always just sell on name alone. That I think they could definitely announce it here and sprinkle news of it into every little thing they do through the year to keep reminding people it's there. And I think that would be a successful marketing campaign.
It's like, here's what cows look like in the new Moo Moo Meadows. Like, oh god!
Yes, actual fur or hair. Oh, that's what I need. The HD, the high def audio of the moos. Oh man, I want to feel the vibration of the moos through the Joy-Con HD Rumble.
Calves will grow up during each track and become bigger obstacles.
That's a long race. That's a long race.
Yeah, no, the track exists in real time. Every time you visit, there's like new cows or bigger, you know. The grass patterns change. Oh god, I'm loving this. I just wanted a Mario Kart Moo Moo Meadows. That's a new twist. Everything's Moo Moo Meadows. Natsu in the chat says, Nintendo hire this man. Please do. That'd be amazing. Hire Tom. All right. I'm gonna combine two predictions here, but they're both smaller, and I just want to get them out of the way before my big one. I predict we actually may get a small Animal Crossing update like we did last year. This time focused on Zelda items coming to Animal Crossing.
Please.
We had them before in the previous Animal Crossing. I think we need them in this one, and I think it is still, or it can still be tied into the 35th anniversary of Zelda 2. So that's how you could easily explain it. So.
That's true.
And my second small prediction, is that it was 1 year ago that Fall Guys was announced for Nintendo Switch. We still don't know when it's coming out. We're going to get a trailer for it, confirming it's coming next month. Or actually, no, this month. And yeah, it's gonna finally be confirmed for Switch with a release date. So
I can see it. I can absolutely see that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's almost bigger than Indie World. Fall Guys be a pretty exciting announcement. They kind of said it was this year. With developers and direct, sometimes they have to be quiet and just have it as a complete surprise. Like, hey, Fall Guys now. At this point, we do know it exists, so like a Fall Guys is out now or later today announcement would be fitting.
Exactly. Triss, did you have any other predictions?
Tom, did you go over predictions after I said Mario Kart? I don't know.
I may have skipped on.
No, I didn't. I have a couple of super chats real quick that I saved.
Yeah, let's do that.
Paraguay had mentioned Mario movie teaser trailer tomorrow. We'll listen to It's a Me Mario for the first time by Chris Pratt.
That's almost exactly what we said. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
You.
So
yeah, I guess you came in just after we missed it, but yeah, we agree. And Mushroom Kingdom Puffle. The wait between Pikmin 2 and 3 was 9 years. It's been 9 years since Pikmin 3. Deluxe sold well by series standards. Do you think we'll see Pikmin 4?
I mean,
I think we touched on that in our 2022 predictions. Like, I mean, there's a chance there's got a small team working on it for a long time, figuring it out. And there has been more Pikmin lately, like with the app. And, in the theme parks, there's mentions of Pikmin. So it's possible. I think it just depends how far they're in development and when we see like a gap in the release schedule, really.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Pikmin 4 is the kind of game that there's never going to be a right time for it. Like, it's never going to feel right. So I'm going to keep saying no and be wrong eventually, hopefully one of these days. But yeah, I'm not feeling it, but hey, I would love to be wrong on that. I do think actually Pikmin might actually be a good, like, second generation Switch title, or, whatever the next Switch is, just so they can really, take advantage of whatever hardware boost there is. Because
1,000 Pikmin.
Exactly. 4K Pikmin, 4,000 Pikmin, that's how you do it. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll get a new Pikmin one of these days, particularly with the fact that there's a relatively new mobile game.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm not expecting it here, but then again, I'm never gonna be expecting it. Real quick, Nathaniel Cruz, asked, where's Joey? Joey just had a baby, so Joey's out for a while. So yeah, look, I think Joey will be watching the direct, but probably not with us. But yeah, that's where Joey's at.
He's in Baby Park.
Yes, the very much real life Baby Park. All right.
Okay. My small prediction
go ahead.
that I have ready now is last year the Exa creator left the studio along with a bunch of other people. They didn't really want it on Switch. He had a quote that I think was kind of misquoted about the Switch being for kids, but I will say that I think the Yakuza series could get an announcement of being released on Switch, maybe because of new people there at the studio, and it would be an easy way to make money. But the catch is, it's gonna be Cloud.
Oh man.
So I was like, yes, I get the thing I want, but it's Cloud. So then I'll be sad. So
yeah.
either that or Judgment, but I think it's time to bring that series to Nintendo Switch. I would love to see it.
I could actually see that happen. All of that.
Even if it's Cloud, it would still be fun to at least have it accessible on the Switch.
Yeah, a big
At
audience
least for the
there.
people good in it.
True. All right. Oh, go ahead. Did you have something, Triss?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because now that we went back to Tom after skipping him, I do have related to Pokemon. I don't actually think we'll see anything Pokemon here. I also know a bunch of people in chat have been asking if we'll see DLC for Legends or something. I don't think we'll see Pokemon here, simply because Pokemon Day is at the end of the month, and traditionally they tend to do a Pokemon Presents around that time. So I actually think with the Nintendo Direct here early in the month, we'll see a Pokemon Presents in the last week of February, and that, I don't know if it'll go over like DLC for Legends, but I think that'll go over like, here's the Pokemon Home support, here's what kind of things we have in the future for these games, or the longevity of these games, if there's anything, or they just announce new things. But I don't think we'll have any Pokemon here. Usually, they do their own thing outside of Nintendo Directs, so.
Fully agree. Yeah, I'd be surprised if we got anything Pokemon related here, and Legends just came out too, so they'll do their own thing. All right, I'm gonna finally do it. I'm finally gonna make my big prediction.
All right,
so,
here we go.
I predict that the Nintendo Direct is going to end, and then they're gonna be like, "There's one more thing," and then we're gonna hear Mario yell out some catchphrase because Mario's gonna be back in Mario Odyssey 2. This actually is why I don't think we'll get Mario Kart. I don't think we'll get two major Mario announcements, and especially not toward possibly the same time of the year. I mean, obviously that studio's up to something. We have no idea what it is. I don't think Bowser's Fury took up all their, last year took up all their development time. And by the time I expect Mario Odyssey 2 would release, that will be almost 2 years after Bowser's Fury. So I think we will. I think we'll. Yeah, it's either going to be a new Mario or DK game. I'm leaning toward it being Mario, as I said in our 2022 predictions. And I think we could finally get our first look at it here. So I think it will be kind of like Mario Galaxy 2. It'll take the same ideas as, Mario Odyssey, but they're going to add in so many new captures. It's so many new environments. It's effectively going to look like a whole new game. And it may even offer, I think now, multiple character support, where beyond capturing characters, you can now play as, like, Luigi or Princess Peach, who I think they were even expecting to possibly be playable in the early development of Mario Odyssey, based on the book. I could be misremembering. But yeah, I think they're going to do something to really switch things up here. Where now Cappy can go with different characters. And that will change how, both how your main character controls, also how the captures may handle. So, yes, I want this more than anything. Almost more than anything.
That would be really awesome, honestly. I don't personally see it here, but I do love the idea, and I would love to see them do more with Odyssey. I mean, it's been a long time, honestly.
Almost 5 years, over 4 years at this point, so.
Now, on the server though, would this mean that the Donkey Kong game doesn't exist, or that maybe some of the messaging of those rumors got mixed up, and let's say you capture other characters, maybe you can capture DK, and then remember that and be DK in certain segments?
That'd be fun.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, somehow Nintendo's treated Mario DK as pretty separate games outside of the spin-off titles. So I'm not. I mean, I don't know if. I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that. I mean, I think one of the two games exists, at the least, and if both games exist, then it's possible another studio's handling one or the other. But yeah, I mean, I imagine that the Mario team is probably only working on a single major game, I'd expect. So whether it be Mario or DK, I think one of those two will be announced, and I'm leaning toward Mario. So
Okay.
That makes sense for sooner because the DK announcement would make more sense later on with the theme park, with the potential movie later.
right,
I'd have more like a DK year almost.
Yeah.
Later on.
the year of DK, exactly. So
Oh boy.
Uh,
The second coming of the year, Luigi, but it's the year of DK.
you never get enough DK.
We'll have it introduced with Doug Bowser with a banana.
There we go. Couple of super chats real quick. Tom Green 99 to the $2 super chat. Thank you, Tom Green. Says Wordle assist trophy in Smash. That'd be amazing. They add an update for Smash, only add a Wordle assist trophy. That'd be hilarious. Despite not even being on Nintendo platforms, officially at least. Roaming Ramon, I believe, with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Says any spin-off game you'd love to see and fantasize about. I love a Zelda 2D fighting game in the style of Soul Calibur or a Waluigi 2D platformer. Also, do you think we'd see another 2D Mario? Wow, a lot of questions there. So, I mean, Link was already in Soul Calibur, so there is kind of like some pedigree there. Yeah. So I think I don't know if we'd ever get a 2D Zelda fighting game, as much as fun as that could be. A Waluigi 2D platformer, yes, sign me up. I'm all about that. And of course, will we ever see another 2D Mario? 100%. We will absolutely see another 2D Mario. So,
Just maybe not here tomorrow.
yeah, probably not. Yeah, I agree.
I think in our 2022 predictions, I did predict like next level games working on a Wario and maybe Wario and Waluigi style platformer game. So
That'd be fun.
that would be something. But if we had a Mario game, we're not going to see both a Wario platformer and a Mario platformer in the same year. I think they would spread those out, even if one was 2D and the other was 3D. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree there.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, who knows? But I do think it is possible we get another Zelda type of spin-off. And I'm not predicting this, but like, we had 2 years ago we had Mario Maker. Last year we had Game Builder Garage. Both games focused around making. Maybe we are due for another. Maybe we could get a Zelda Maker, as I've been hoping for. So yes, that'd be amazing. I think that'd be really fun. All right. So that was my big prediction. Do we have any others left here? Or are we tapped out?
I did my big Mario Kart prediction. Tom, do you have any big major prediction? Still?
I have no other major big predictions. I only have one kind of remaster re-release I'd love to see.
Okay.
Because Nintendo Switch, over 100 million units now. Metroid Dread, huge sales compared to normal Metroid games. What if Nintendo was feeling bullish? I wanted to see how an old title that maybe didn't do so well could do on Switch. So I'm saying not just take one title, but take two titles and release them in a single pack. I am talking about Excite Truck and Excite Bots together in one pack. See if you get to 1 million units. I don't care. I loved Excite Truck. I'd love to see it again, but Monster Games does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel bad.
Well, yeah, they were bought, right? I think, were they purchased?
They were bought by another company
Right.
doing other stuff too. So
I was worried you were building up to Metroid Other M getting apart.
bring back No, not. I'm not that cruel.
Excite Bots and Excite Truck. Yes, I would love that. I love both of those games. I don't expect anything in the way of them here. But they do need to do more of the Excite Bike or the Excite series in general. So at the least, I'm at least hoping we'll get Excite Bike 64 on N64 expansion pack one of these days.
I think that's the closest we'll get. Yeah. And that had a lot of extra stuff to it. That would be great.
Yep. Agreed. All right. Well, there are a couple, even though that's, I think, as far as we know, all of our predictions, there are still a few games we haven't touched on here at all. So I figured we'd run down them real quick. Bayonetta 3. Is there a chance we could see it here?
I think we could see it, but it wouldn't be like anything too big. It would be along the lines of the reveal trailer in terms of just it's wacky, it's big, it's cool, but there's no like story beats or anything yet. Maybe a time frame for when it would come out, like Q4 or Q2, something like that, but not like I don't think we'll get like a hard date yet or see anything for the story yet. Personally, I could be totally wrong there, but I do think it's supposed to be this year though, Bayonetta 3. So it would be good to see it here, and if it's not here, it'll definitely be in the summer.
Yeah, I think Summer Direct is my prediction.
I'm feeling that too. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see it here.
Mm-hmm.
Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. We know that's this year. Do we think that could appear here in some form?
It could. It could definitely appear here. I almost see that happening more than Bayonetta, just to give us a time frame of when this year, because that one we haven't seen since E3. Bayonetta, I think we saw back in September at least. So we saw that one a little more recently. So I think it would make sense to at least see Mario and Rabbids again to give us a better idea of when it's coming and maybe a little bit more of a look at the gameplay. But yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that TikTok cycle where it was that E3 missed one. I think it's a good time to bring it back, even if it's only for a minute or two. Show a bit more. It is an ambitious game, though. I don't think it'll be coming out first half of the year, but who knows? They've been working a long time.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that none of us predicted it. That we're like, oh yeah, that's possible, you know. The main reason I didn't predict it is only because I'm just not quite feeling it. Like, it's entirely possible. Obviously, they have to show off more of it this year if it comes out this year. But I feel like, I think it's probably a later release title, a later year release title. So I imagine that they would want to really blow it out closer to its release. So I think it may just be a little too early for it. But I'd be happy to be wrong. But I am excited for it. I would love to see more. So yeah, I mean, who knows? The thing is with Ubisoft, like they're the publisher here. They're really the ones driving the marketing of this. It's hard. It's almost harder to predict with them, just because I'm not as used to how they handle releases as I am with Nintendo, which themselves is hard enough to predict. So, all right, we got a couple of super chats here. Paul Gale Network, the one and only, with the $2 super chat, says, "Happy birthday, Andre! Metroid Prime remake reveal." Thank you so much, Paul Gale, for the super chat and happy birthday wishes. And yes, I was predicting it. I predicted we will see it, so I hope you're right. I hope I'm right. I hope we see the Metroid Prime remake here, because that will be amazing. I've been purposely holding off replaying Metroid Prime because I want to do it in HD. We have not had that ability to do so yet officially. I would love to be able to. So yes, Paul, I agree. Casey Supersonic with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, says, "Nice to celebrate with you all. Think we could get Ace Attorney 7 announced." Triss, what do you think?
Ooh. You know what? Ace Attorney 7, according to the Capcom leaks, was supposed to release last year, before Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and we had that one. So, yeah, you know what? I actually could see that. I think it's usually multi-plat, so it's something I think they could reveal here, and then, on their personal channels upload the same trailer for all the other platforms it would go to. But yeah, I can actually see that being something here. I think the past few Ace Attorney games, not counting Great Ace Attorney, I think 5 and 6 were both announced in Nintendo Directs. So yeah, I could actually see that being something that happens here, maybe earlier in the Direct. Kind of a first look at the game, maybe for summertime or so. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you think it's too soon after the Great Ace compilation?
I don't think so, only because we know their original plans were to release both within the same year. Mm-hmm. So I don't think, if that was part of their original plans, I don't see a reason to change that. Ace Attorney games, as beloved as they are, don't really have a longevity to them. They don't they maybe do one DLC episode for some of them, but Great Ace Attorney was packaged together, released, and I think as long as it's 6 months out past the game, it should be fine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's also different enough because it's not Phoenix; it's an entirely different cast of characters. I think it's different enough that they'd be able to not tread on its toes too much.
Right. Yeah. All right. Is there anything else we missed? Any other possibilities? That we can imagine that we overlooked. Chat, let us know if there's anything you think we overlooked. We want to hear it. Oh, go ahead.
There was the rumor that we reported on yesterday of a 1-2 Switch sequel.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to mention it and I just keep forgetting about it.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure. I believe it's real. I don't think it'll be announced in a Direct. I think Nintendo. I think they acknowledge that we are probably not their primary demographic for that game. So I think if they announce it, it'll be completely as its own thing. Just like a random trailer drop out of nowhere. Bam, here it is. With that being said, I will make a prediction for it, and I think that they will go even more into the multiplayer. I think it'll be more of a party game where it's not just 2 players. It'll be like a multiple people game. I think it actually could make it more fun. But yeah, I'm not at all expecting it in a Direct.
Yeah, I see that happening more like a random Twitter announcement, kind of like what was it, Big Brain Academy last year.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I see it being as well. I have no idea how they would shake up the game to be more interesting than the original one to Switch, though.
You literally shake it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's an uphill battle. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see like what form it takes, because it can't just be more of 1-2 Switch, right? So we'll see. We have a couple super chats. Miguel Alberto Lopez, Camera CLP. Oh, sorry, Camera, I believe. He donated 1,000 of something. I have no idea what currency, but thank you so much. Says a 1080 Avalanche HD from GameCube. I think we touched on this a little bit earlier, or someone had mentioned.
Yeah, we touched on 1080 and wave race and those earlier. An HD one, I would love to see it, but that'd be more like, I think if they ever went back to, like, let's say they did GameCube Online, I think they would hold on to that one for a while. Even though I'd love to see more 1080.
I think the only way it would happen, I think, is the only way we see 1080 again is if A, there's a GameCube expansion pack type thing, or B, they make a brand new 1080. I don't think they would port the GameCube one or make an HD version. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the super chat. Then we have Angry Puckman with a $5 super chat says, "What are the chances of Custom Robo or Mega Man Battle Network being announced?"
Unfortunately, I don't see either one happening. It would be great to see them. I don't see them happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't either. So sorry. Maybe we're wrong. You never know. Thank you for the super chat though, and then one more super chat from a $10 super chat from Rhythmsy Games, I believe, says, "I'm currently doing a playthrough of Arceus on my channel, so I can wait a little longer, but hopefully we get news on Zelda and Bayonetta 3. Not interested in much else, but maybe the Direct will change that." Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't predict either of those. So I hope you get something that excites you, though, at the least, if not those two. But obviously, a lot of people are looking forward to both games. But we do know that Direct is focusing on, primarily the first half of 2022. So it does limit what we could possibly see beyond that. I'm personally expecting more than maybe 2 games outside of that window. But I'd happy to be wrong. I'm looking at my list here. Yeah, I only predicted, I think, 2. Actually, I predicted exactly 2 for outside that window. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Any final thoughts, everyone, before we start wrapping it up here?
I have seen a few people in chat bring it up, so it made me think. Persona. So we have Persona 4 Arena Ultimax releasing on multiplat, including Switch, in March. And notably, the only platform you can pre-order that on is PC. And that's because on PC, you can get a pre-order bundle to also get Persona 4 Golden. And we're still in the middle of the Persona 25th anniversary, and notably, you cannot pre-order Arena Ultimax on any of the platform yet. So right now, people are really thinking we might get Persona 4 Golden also going multi-platform, and that's why you can't pre-order Arena yet, because you'd be able to pre-order them as a bundle. And I can absolutely see that happening, and I can see that being announced here or on their own thing if they don't choose to have it here. But I do think that is going to happen. I just don't know if we'll see it here specifically. It would be great to see it here. I think the Persona 4 Arena Ultimax trailer was in the last Direct, wasn't it? I think so.
I think
or
so.
It was around that time. So yeah. So you know what? Yeah, I actually think it could be here.
All right. Yeah. Hey, that'd be nice. So I know that will make a lot of people happy.
Sadly, it's not Persona 5 on Switch yet. But soon enough.
Not yet. Real quick, Old Gamer Noob had posted in the chat, Beat Saber with Labo VR support. Yes! That's what we need! That's the one thing we're truly missing. I would love if we actually got like a VR update of any kind from Nintendo, but I'm not anticipating it. So, Group 678 with a $2 super chat says, will we see Fortune Street? Probably not, but
that would be fun. But Fortune Street's another Mario crossover, but Mario Square Enix board game and I think it's a bit too close to Mario Party for them to do anything like that within the next few months. Maybe if they ever went back to the idea of Fortune Street, they could do that the end of this year, announce it, but not so hot off the heels of Mario Party Superstars, I think.
Right. Oh, a $10 super chat from Rafe Alfaro. Thank you so much, Rafe. Appreciate that. Says, hi guys, hopefully we'll get a ton of great announcements tomorrow. Cheers. Absolutely, Rafe. That's the hope. That's the dream. We're all excited here, fully knowing most of our predictions aren't going to come true. But if even just a handful of these come true, I will be very happy. So, oh, here we go. Here's a good. Actually, they remind me of something I want to bring up. Super chat from Addy0302 asks, I think £2 donation. Thank you so much. Says, thoughts on Silk Song? Could now be the time, everyone.
We don't predict Silk Song anymore.
We don't talk about Silk Song. We need a song based around that.
I hope so. Like, all the Hollow Knight fans have been waiting so long for Silk Song, and every time there's a Nintendo presentation, whether it's an Indie World or Direct, Silk Song starts trending on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I looked over to my right just now at my second screen to see it's trending on Twitter.
Oh my God.
Again. So I hope you Silk Song fans get, like, the people really hoping for Hollow Knight Silk Song get what they want. You guys have waited so long for it. It was the cover of Edge magazine like a year ago, and it had nothing more than the cover, I think. So I hope you guys get it. I hope so.
Yeah, Tom, you don't think it's gonna happen?
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Like when it's out one day, I don't know. Do they even like do their own presentation? I guess you get more coverage on Nintendo Direct. It's so hard to say. It's just one of those. It's gonna be out at some point. It's gonna be great.
I almost feel like
Still
Nintendo
feels early somehow.
I almost feel like Nintendo would have wanted it, just because it would overshadow their own announcements. Like, who cares about Breath of the Wild 2 when you have Silk Song here, you know?
Oh no.
Falcon Black with a £2 donation, a super chat, says Pikmin 4. Yeah, like I said earlier, there's never gonna be a time where I predict it at this point. I think I'm not feeling it, but I would love to be wrong. I would love for it to be here. So
I'll sprout up one day.
yeah, there we go. Exactly.
Good pun.
Hyperlink Kling had a comment saying, didn't Nintendo announce a long time ago that they're remaking old games, including Excitebike and Mario World? I swear they did. They never made that announcement. I wish they did.
That would have been great.
That would have been amazing, yeah. I mean, we would have heard about it. They were remaking freaking Excitebike and Mario World. Sadly, they have not said anything to that effect as far as I'm aware, which I'm confident they have not. So, all right. Blake says we hope we see Breath of the Wild 2. Yeah, I mean, I hope so as well, but I'm thinking that's going to be a later in the year type thing. So, possibly around whenever E3 would have been, since it seems like that's not happening this year.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Triss or Tom?
I think I'm out at this point.
All right.
I have nothing left on my notes that we haven't touched upon.
Yeah. I was just thinking about theme parks as a potential option to the Mario movie, like trying to show something outside of just Nintendo Switch.
Right.
I think theme parks though is still a bit early at this point, and probably not trying to focus on that too much just yet. I think they'll wait more till later in the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like Universal's largely been handling the announcements recently for that, but then again, there hasn't been like a ton to announce. Like they did confirm the DK section to come into Japan, so it's possible we could get like a first look at it officially on the Nintendo Direct, which would be fun. I mean, they did the same for Super Nintendo World in general. They had its own Direct, so
yeah.
that is possible. But that wouldn't be for a few years at this point. So at least 2 years probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm down for any kind of like those outside video game announcements. Like, it's kind of fun to get those. So
yeah, and earlier people were saying acknowledge Nintendogs. I predicted in our 2022 predictions Nintendogs on mobile. So go back there if you want to see Nintendogs.
it makes sense. It makes so much sense. I'm amazed they haven't done it yet. It's too smart, Tom. That's it. It's just too smart. So. Real quick, do you all have your notes still for everything you've predicted? I was wondering if you could do like a quick summary of each of our personal predictions for the Direct.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Triss, we've never done this before, so we're gonna get a quick summary of what because all of our predictions kind of get merged together. Ultimately, here's what we each thought might happen. Triss, let's get your rundown.
Unfortunately, this is not in the order I went through them, but I do think we'll see Mario Kart of some kind. Hopefully, that was my big one. I opened with Mario Party Superstars DLC because that was my game of the year last year. I definitely think we're gonna see something with that. Kirby and the Forgotten Land getting a new trailer because that's next month. That makes sense. Splatoon 3 new trailer because I feel like that's gonna be somewhere between May and July, and they'll want to at least date it now. I don't think we'll see Breath of the Wild, but I think Aonuma will appear and be like, hey, we're hard at work on it. Unfortunately, we can't show you anything of the game, but here's the title and logo, and that'll just keep people talking about it for at least 3 months anyway. I think we can see something from Fire Emblem. Andre mentioned Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That was actually on my list as well. We brought up the 1-2 Switch sequel that's been rumored, which we think it's real. Don't think it'll be here. And Pokemon Legends, Arceus, and in general Pokemon, I don't think we'll have anything Pokemon here. That'll be its own thing at the end of the month in a Pokemon Presents, I think. I mentioned Persona, probably going to be here, Persona 4, Golden specifically. And someone in chat reminded me of Ace Attorney 7, and I also think that'll be here. And I think that was all of mine.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Tom, how about you?
My ridiculous predictions. Ring Fit expansion, Advance Wars release date, Punch-Out remaster, Yakuza Cloud.
That's
All
so
right.
depressing to hear.
Yeah, that really is. Just ending on a cloud announcement. I love it. Real quick before I get to my predictions then, my summary of my predictions. Rafe Farrow with another $5 super chat. Thank you, Rafe says, forgot to say happy birthday, Andre. Hope your top game predictions get announced as birthday presents. So thank you so much, Rafe. That's a great point. Nintendo, you can't let me down on my, announcements on my birthday, right? So let's not spoil the fun here. Let's get everything I'm about to summarize, I hope we get. All right, here we go. So what I'm expecting is, like Triss, Mario Party Superstars DLC. It's been 6 months this time. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I think, could possibly open it. I think we're coming up on the announcement of that game regardless, and I think now makes sense. Goldeneye 007, baby! I think we're going to have it announced by Nintendo, and it's going to be a standalone game, like separate from the expansion pack. It'll be slightly updated in HD, and I can't wait for it. I think we'll get the announcement of the Metroid Prime trilogy, or at least the remake of the first one, either one. They'll at least announce that all three are coming to Switch. We're going to get a tease of the Mario movie trailer. I believe we'll have mini updates for Cruis'n Blast, including online and maybe new vehicles. And then we'll get a small update as well for Game Builder Garage, adding in just a few additional features, including the ability to access a library of games that people have uploaded. I believe we'll get some Zelda items in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Advance Wars Reboot Camp will be shown here. It'll be announced for release on April 8th. Kirby, we will see more Kirby, just because that is coming out soon, I imagine, and we'll get the release date for that as well. I think I'm predicting May for that. Splatoon 3 will be here. We'll get a detailed breakdown of more of it than we have before, including a campaign and a co-op mode for the game. And I don't think we'll see Metroid Prime 4 or Breath of the Wild 2. I think that'll come later in the year, at least for Breath of the Wild 2. Metroid Prime 4 probably possibly next year. And finally, I think we will see Mario Odyssey 2. That will be their one more thing. It won't be huge. It'll be like a short, like maybe 1 to 2 minute trailer of the game with more information coming later in the year. But that will be coming. That will be a November or October-November era release date, window release date. So. Whoa.
I think there was a rumor at 1.2 for Mario Baseball. I would love that as a sports game for this year. So.
Mario Baseball is underrated, particularly the GameCube game. That game is so fun. Yes. When I worked at Nintendo, me and my friend Jason, who worked there, we would take our lunch break and just play Mario Baseball for the entire time, and it was amazing.
That is awesome. We
got so competitive at that game. There was a point where one of us, I forget who it was, broke the game by getting a home run that was so big, the game couldn't even process the graphics for it. So, like, the environment was like falling apart. It was hilarious. It was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, I love Mario Baseball.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case. I feel like they might try to ride Mario Golf a little bit more with, like, paid DLC or something first. I know it's different developers. It's Bandai Namco instead of Camelot that makes tennis and golf. And there was a couple years between Tennis Aces and Mario Golf, so I kind of feel like it'll still be another year before a new Mario Sports. But I would love to be wrong, because I love the Mario Sports games. Mario Strikers, Mario Baseball. Getting another one of those would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes they come in bunches, so to have one last year and this year could happen. And also, real quick, I thought about a perfect GoldenEye kind of announcement commercial that probably wouldn't happen because they'd be acknowledging the existence of someone else. You have, like, Polygon, James Bond holding on, like, 006, and it's like, instead of for England, it's like, for Xbox, James. And it's like, no, for Switch 2, and drops them.
That would be amazing, and that'll never happen. But that would be that would be so good. I love it. Real quick, I've seen some people in the chat asking, when's the Nintendo Direct? Or there is a Nintendo Direct? Yes, Nintendo just announced it a few hours ago at this point. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 40-minute Direct focused on the first half of the year. So yes, so even though we just gave our summary of all our predictions, obviously we all know not all of them are going to happen, even on an individual level. But it should be fun regardless to see what actually does happen or not. 40 minutes is a lot of time, and Nintendo can fit in quite a few announcements, so... Real quick, we got a Princess Twilight Sparkle super chat for 10 of something. Thank you so much. They say, hello, GameXplain. I'm excited for tomorrow's Direct. I hope to get some gameplay of the games delayed, like Fall Guys, maybe Mario Kart 9, Switch Sports. What do you wish? Do you think will happen? So I think Fall Guys could happen. It's been a year since this announcement, so it makes sense. Tom brought up the idea of a Ring Fit based
sports.
Yep, Ring Fit Sports. And Triss was talking about Mario Kart 9 or whatever the next Mario Kart is. So, so yeah, we think between the three of us, we think all three could happen. So, all right, I think that's it. I think we covered everything. So, all right, any final thoughts now that we've done our summaries and all that?
Gosh, I'm excited. If I had to give a hype level, because I know we tend to do that, if I had to give a hype level, I'm like at an 8, almost a 9, like almost Mario Kart 9. No, I'm at an 8, almost a 9. I'm not, like, normally I'm very reasonably excited for Nintendo Directs, but this one I'm feeling even more excited for, and I can't even really explain why. I guess just I feel like we don't know much about this year, but there's been so many rumors, and I want to see what happens. And there's so many games we know little about, like Breath of the Wild, Bayonetta, etc., that I just want to see more. Right. It's going to be great. Whatever we see, I think it's going to be great.
Yep. We already know so many great titles. They could announce nothing new, and it would already be a fantastic year.
Yep.
Carlos just said, watch the surprise announcement be Detective Pikachu for Switch. I mean, stuff like that can always pop up, and there's going to be something usually for everybody in a Direct. Hopefully. Can't get everything. The last few Directs have been pretty good to me, so I think we might get some titles that I personally won't necessarily like, but it's just the way it goes. It's going to be great stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's important to keep our expectations in check, even with our predictions. Again, we don't expect all of them to happen, so I do hope there are some good surprises in there regardless, and if it ends up being Mario Kart, I'm going to lose my mind, even though I'm not expecting it at this point. I would be happy to see it there, even if I'm even if I'm fearful of the amount of time it's going to take afterward to fully cover. So I think we're about to wrap it up here, except a comment from Cody again says, feeling good about this one. Thanks for the fun stream and happy birthday, Andre. Well, thank you so much, Cody. Thanks for hanging out with us and the happy birthday wishes. Yeah, what a fun way to start my day. It's like, oh, hey, Nintendo Direct happening. Awesome. Now I get to enjoy the rest of my day before the flood tomorrow.
Yeah, and Ryerman says Rhythm Heaven after that with like a kind of wishful emoji. I think I predicted that before for some kind of release of the first one. That's more like if you had Game Boy Advance on NSO. But so
I also just because I've seen it in chat all stream. Tomodachi Life, yes, make it happen, please. Miitopia was great. I miss Miitomo on mobile. Make it some sort of like combination of all of those. Make it a new Tomodachi Life, not just a port. That would be great.
There we go. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it for us here, everyone. First off, thank you to everyone for the happy birthday wishes. I really appreciate that. I can't say, thanks to all of you, but I really appreciate that. Thank you to everyone for hanging out with us on our Nintendo Direct Eve. It is coming up again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. We will be there. We'll be streaming it. We'll be covering it. So stay tuned for all kinds of coverage from us, including, of course, the live coverage, discussion afterward, I imagine, probably some real-time analysis, possibly, and then, of course, actual analysis thereafter. And it should be a ton of fun. I can't wait. I know. I think everyone's excited here. I mean, it's hard not to be excited for a Nintendo Direct, right? So
always.
Tom, actually, I think your hype level, Tom. What's your hype level at?
Like, there's so many good games already that I know about. Chris said 9. It is the beginning of the year, though. I'm going 8. But keep in mind, I actually start like in a realistic scale. Right. I don't just start at 7 and work my way up. So I love going at 8 to be like have it surpassed by the Direct itself.
There we go. Good. That's a good philosophy. Yeah, I think I land right around the 8th zone too. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow morning though when we actually do this stream. But I'm hyped regardless. So, anyways,
well, it's not in the morning, but yeah.
Sorry.
I said it's not in the morning, but yeah.
Well, I meant when I wake up and I'm getting ready for it.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Fair.
All right, everyone. I think that's gonna wrap up for us here. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, stay tuned, as I said, to tomorrow for the actual Nintendo Direct. We'll have tons of coverage of it, and I can't wait to bring it to all of you. So it's been fun. Let us know what you thought of our live predictions. This is our first time we've ever done a live predictions. Do you want to see more of these? Let us know in the comments or the chat, whichever one you're in at the time you're watching this video. We'd love to hear your feedback, and we'll catch you tomorrow for the Nintendo Direct coverage. See you later, everyone. Have a good one. Bye.
Doing the Joey wave for Joey.